When the Quran says you are allowed to marry the chaste women of the people of the book, what it means is that they believe, at least in their creed, they state that we believe in one God. So anywhere, if there is one God believed in and the individual is chaste, then the same rule would apply. If you read the Quran, you would find that the Quran is only talking about those religions which were there, believed in and practiced in the Arabian Peninsula. There is no mention of Hinduism. There is no mention of Buddhism and other Taoism, etc. And they all preceded Islam, the last message of the Almighty. Why is there no mention? They were not a part of the environment. The Quran was revealed in a particular place. It had an environment, a context. It could not have opened the door for discussion for everything. In fact, so much so, when the Quran talks about the Christians, it talks about only that part of Christianity which was understood, believed in, and practiced in the Arabian Peninsula. So the Quran rejects the understanding of the Son of God. The Quran rejects the understanding of Trinity. But the Quran does not even talk about the fact that Jesus was sacrificed because of the sins of those who believed in. Even though you know that many Christians, probably most Christians, have that faith. It was not the faith of those people. Likewise, there are some people, some Jews, who criticize the Quran by saying that we never considered Uzair, Ezra, as the son of God. Why is the Quran accusing us? Well, the people living in that place, they had that understanding. So the Quran has a context. It always has to be the same case. Whenever a book is to be revealed, whenever a nation is to be addressed, it really has to be addressed in their context alone. You can't open the discussion for everything. The Quran has mentioned its message in a way that even though obviously those who are Muslims who believe in it, they believe in it. But if you look at the tone of the Quran is actually talking to everyone. That when the Almighty says that the food of the people of the book is halal for you, that's fine. That the Almighty can tell us. But the Almighty goes on to say as well that your food is halal for them as well. Now, somebody might ask that, the Christians and the Jews never asked the Quran to tell them whether it's halal or not. And the Almighty has a right to say that. Because he is revealing this book and he's telling them, and I'm telling you, they take it as something like a permission. It's a way to let them know that, man, it's your book, already giving you guidance. There are problems after problems in this Western society where there are Muslim girls who want to get married to a non-Muslim man. I very politely say that, look here, there are going to be challenges. But my understanding is that there are two conditions only, whether a man or a woman, that one should satisfy to have in a spouse to be. One is person should believe in one God. The other is that the person should be chaste, not involved in extramarital affairs. These are the two conditions. The rest, well, obviously, even while marrying a Muslim, you should be careful. The other conditions are, I think, imposed by people. Why do I say that? My understanding is that the Quran in Surah Al-Baqarah is clarifying neither are the mushrik polytheist men allowed to marry Muslim women, nor are women allowed to be married to Muslim men. Now, when in this verse, the Almighty is talking about both men and women. What is mentioned in Surah Al-Ma'idah, where the Almighty says that the chaste women of the Ahl Kitab, people of the book, are allowed for you, it's actually saying one part of it. The other part is implied. Looking at it logically, it is mothers who influence their children more than fathers. When a Sunni man marries a Shia woman, it's quite often kids, they turn out to be Shia. And likewise, Shia man marries a Sunni woman. This is what happened. Mothers are more influential. I was actually pleasantly surprised that a gentleman actually has, whom I know very well, he got probably both his daughters, they were married to Christians. And I said, how did you get it done? He said there was an imam in Mississauga who solemnized the nikah. He asked the groom to say that I believe in one God and I testify that Jesus Christ, the son of Mary, was the messenger of Allah, and I testify that Muhammad was the messenger of Allah. So, you see, when we are challenged by our circumstances, it's not that we have more knowledge, not at all. It's just that, sometimes the text is not read quite as properly. There's no pressure. When you are faced with real challenges, I find honestly many cases wherein there are Muslim girls. They talk about non-Muslim men who are not prepared to say the Shahada immediately, but they are good people. And I keep saying that if they're good people, they'll convert, inshallah. Why would they not? It's just a matter of time. I know families who abandon their daughters who take that decision. Sorry, I tell them, yeah, what is this policy? I mean, okay, what she has done is wrong in your eyes, but when you abandon her and her husband, then what it means is that your relationship is cut off forever. The hope, the possibility that your daughter and her husband would come close to Islam has gone. So, I mean, there are certain societal expectations which become so dominant that families, they worry about what people are going to say. That's what it is normally what's happening. I think we should be more rational within the limits of Islam. I'm not saying, I mean, if somebody declares that I believe in more than one God, no, there's no chance. Somebody is into adultery, there's no chance. But let's face it, that too is happening, unfortunately. People have affairs and it's going on. I very strongly believe that the kind of discussion we are having, we should have it frequently, and these topics should be talked about and shared. Otherwise, I'm telling you, there are many isolated tragedies, problems that are happening, and they're there because people are shy, they are ashamed, they would not even talk about it.